Now, the race for California's next attorney general is heating up as incumbent Xavier Becerra's scandal-ridden past begins to resurface. One America's Pearson Sharp sat down with attorney general candidate Stephen Bailey, who says Becerra's past makes him a risk to national security.
The scandal of the congressional IT aide Imran Awan may have fallen out of national attention, but the upcoming elections in California are bringing it back into the spotlight. The disgraced Awan was arrested in 2017 on bank fraud charges following a federal investigation, which began after it was discovered he was operating a secret server with access to sensitive government data. How does this tie into California's upcoming elections? Well, Awan just happened to work for Xavier Becerra, California's current attorney general who's up for re-election. But the story goes much deeper than that and directly ties Becerra to the worst parts of the Awan scandal, though it's gone completely unmentioned by the media. Becerra hired Awan back in 2004 and subsequently hired his brother and then his wife. Over the years, Becerra began paying Awan more and more for his services, far beyond his salary, sometimes by as much as $25,000 to $30,000. Why was Becerra paying Awan so much in addition to his regular salary? What were those payments for? It wasn't until years later that Capitol Police would discover that Awan was hacking into the servers for the House Democratic Caucus, which was chaired by Xavier Becerra. One America News spoke with Judge Stephen Bailey, who's currently running against Becerra for the next Attorney General. Bailey points out all the data being leaked on congressional members was coming straight out of Becerra's office.
He was the Democratic caucus chairman. It was his server in his office that the Awans were moving member data and information to, and then spiriting to, out of the Capitol in violation of the rules.
Becerra tried to wipe all records off his server, but before he could, authorities contacted his office and asked for a copy of the server. Shockingly, though, police say when Becerra finally turned over the server, what they actually received from him was, quote, an elaborate falsified image designed to hide the massive violations.
Becerra was there right in the middle of it and was responsible for delivering when the Capitol Police asked for a copy of the hard drive. He's the one who delivered the doctored copy of the hard drive. Which part of delivering a doctored hard drive to the Capitol Police is not a crime.
Senior officials say Becerra deliberately turned over a fake server, which police said was an act of overt interference in an ongoing criminal investigation. To date, Xavier Becerra has successfully managed to avoid providing any answers regarding why Awan was collecting House members' data or why he provided a fake copy of the server to police.
Nobody seems to have any interest in looking into finding out what data was stolen from the House computers. Some of the members that he had access to were members of the Intelligence Committee. How can you not spend any time as the leader of the Democratic caucus trying to find out what it is they're taking? I mean, this is, when they delivered the doctored hard drive, this is the type of stuff that is classic obstruction of justice, lying to the Capitol Police, giving them doctored evidence. We can't afford that from our public officials, and it appears that we got just that from Becerra when he tried to cover it up and hide from the American people just exactly what the spies were doing.
What is known, though, is that Becerra, California's current attorney general, was paying Awan more money than any other person in Congress and continued doing so for years. Not only that, but Awan would sometimes fly back to Pakistan, his home country, and continue working and accessing the files from there for months at a time. Awan, while working for Becerra, was able to access the congressional server without authorization some 6,000 times. It raises serious questions as to why Becerra would knowingly allow his employee to continue working on this secret server, and not only that, but pay him tens of thousands of dollars in bonuses on top of his salary.
Well, once you're notified that there's an investigation concerning illegal access to your computers by employees, You would think that at that point you would cut them off, get them out of there, so that they'd have no opportunity to steal more material.
Becerra was confronted about this situation at a press conference in 2017 by a reporter from the Daily Caller. The reporter, Luke Rosiak, laid out the entire case against Becerra, who fumbled an answer by simply stating that some of the facts were incorrect, failing to specify which ones.
Cybersecurity, obviously a big issue we're facing these days. There was an issue shortly before you left Congress at the end of last year where your server was the site of a bunch of a cybersecurity incident, basically. A House investigative report says that people made unauthorized access to your server 6,000 times, logging on with 17 different accounts. It appeared that your longtime IT guy was actually moving other members' data onto your server. So the report says you learned about this in the summer of 2016 and quietly banned the IT guy, but you only replaced him with his wife, and he kept logging in anyway. It says you blocked investigators from looking at the files, citing the speech and debate clause of the Constitution. It says your physical server itself, which was evidence, later disappeared. This kind of thing doesn't happen every day in Congress. You didn't mention this to the 17 members whose data may have been affected. And shortly before you resigned, the physical server did disappear. So what happened to this server, and especially given your law enforcement background now, are you seeking to press charges against these IT guys? I mean, given that these, at a minimum, certainly the rules surrounding cybersecurity on the House were violated in some pretty strange ways.
Is it Luke or Lou?
Luke, yeah,
Luke.
Thank you.
You should go back and you should research your facts. You've got them wrong. I understand that this matter is still under investigation, and we have cooperated with the authorities, both within Congress and within the federal government on this one. But you should check your facts because you stated a number of things that were incorrect.
Bailey says this kind of behavior represents a national security risk and that the people of California deserve an attorney general who won't pursue a double standard of justice. He reminds voters to get out and make their voices heard on November 6th and let the leadership in Sacramento know Californians are ready for change. Pearson Sharp, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.